Hi everyone. Welcome to this brief presentation for eme6054. This presentation will focus specifically on systems theory. Now, as you know, this week we're looking at different theories that are foundational to instructional technology, and systems theory is one of those theories. So in this presentation, we will look at systems theory and how it relates to instructional technology. Having said that, let's get started. Before I get too far into systems theory, I want to make a couple of comments about theories in general. This general information will make our exploration of specific kinds of theories more meaningful. So first, theories are a way that we can explain and prescribe events and circumstances. Theories can also help us predict. Now, whether the theory is explaining or predicting determines the kind of theory that we're looking at. Let me explain. Theories can be descriptive or prescriptive. Descriptive theories are the ones that explain. Prescriptive theories are the ones that prescribe. Now, in the context of instructional technology, for example, we use descriptive theories to describe what will happen in a specific learning sequence, to describe how learning occurs, and to explain what's transpiring in the learning event. Prescriptive theories, on the other hand, prescribe how a certain learning sequence should be presented or how content should be presented. These theories help us predict what might happen when a certain sequence of learning is used. Now, you'll notice that in my discussions of theories that I have said nothing about fact or proving anything. Theories don't work that way. Theories don't present absolute fact, and we don't prove theories. That's why there are so many different theories related to a different topic. Different theories describe the same construct differently or prescribe different ways to do the same thing. A theory is more than a hunch or a best guess, though, too. Theories are based on lots of research and scientific inquiry. And based on the research and inquiry, we come up with different ways to describe or prescribe something. And that becomes a theory. When we use theories, we can better develop instruction that is meaningful and successful. Now that we know what theories are and what they're used for, let's talk about the kinds of theories that are foundational to instructional technology. There are 4 groups or kinds of theories that are inherent in instructional technology, and they are theories that instructional technology is founded on. These are systems theory, communication theory, learning theory, and instructional theory. Systems theory, communication theory, and learning theory are descriptive theories, and instructional theories are prescriptive theories. All of these theories work together for the purpose of instructional technology, but each has a unique contribution to instructional technology. So we'll look at each one of those independently this week. And again, this presentation will focus on systems theory. So that's where we're going to go now. But keep in mind that systems theory, communication theory, and learning theory are going to describe or explain what's happening, and instructional theory is going to prescribe how we do something. Systems are everywhere. We encounter them every day in many different places. Let me give you some examples. The computer or device that you're listening to this presentation on is a system. Your car is a system. Your family is a system. Your body is a system. Systems are everywhere. For us as instructional technologists or instructional designers, a classroom or a learning experience can be a system. So we need to understand systems theory and how it impacts what we do. Systems theory is a descriptive theory because it describes how different parts fit together to create a whole. And it discusses how the different parts interact. So systems theory relates to how different elements or components work together, how they interact with one another, and how they relate to one another as part of something much greater than the individual parts. A system is a series of interrelated elements that comprise a whole. So you can think of it as being an assemblage of elements that work together for some purpose. Now, this point about working together for a purpose is crucial, because without this common purpose, you just have a conglomerate of pieces. Because we have pieces working together, we have inputs and we have outputs, but they're working together for that common purpose. Each part of the system is necessary to the functioning of the whole, and when we change one part of the system, we can have a change on the entire system. And as a result, the parts of the system are interrelated and impact one another. So let me give you an example. Let's say that the fan in your computer goes out. The entire system of the computer can be impacted. The computer can overheat, causing an electrical malfunction. Perhaps the wiring melts. The computer could shut down incorrectly. That could then cause software issues, and the nightmare continues. So a change in one component of the computer can impact the other parts and the system as a whole, in this case, the computer. Monitoring and feedback in your system, then, is important to identify potential problems or changes. And so we can plan for what that change might mean to the system and its components. Now, we've already established that there are different components of a system, but there are also different systems in a system. Confused? Don't be. It's really pretty simple. Systems have a hierarchy. So there are three main levels to this hierarchy. They're the system, the supersystem, and the subsystems. Now, the system is the actual system that you're looking at, the system that you're interested in. So this could be a car sound system, for example. In the context of instructional technology, this might be an instructional system. It might be a delivery system, a classroom, that type of thing. The suprasystem is the larger environment or system within which the system exists. So you see, a system doesn't exist in a vacuum. It doesn't exist in isolation. It exists within a larger environment that has the potential to impact that system. Now let's go back to our car radio example, the car sound system. So the car is the suprasystem for that car sound system, that system that we're interested in. For instructional technology, a classroom, for example, exists within the suprasystem of a school and the suprasystem of a school district. Now, this is true for a military training setting as well. The training unit exists within the larger unit and the military division and that type of thing. Now, we've said that systems are composed of components, and some of those components are systems themselves. So in our car sound system example, the speaker could be a subsystem. The speaker is made up of components working together for a common purpose, and if one part changes, it could impact the other parts. So the speaker is a system in itself. But the speaker is part of a larger system, the car sound system. So it's a system within a system. In an instructional design or instructional technology context, this could perhaps be the delivery system, such as e-learning. That could be a subsystem. It's a system itself within the context of the learning system. Now keep in mind that not all components of a system will necessarily be a subsystem. So let's recap. We have a system, we have supersystems, and we have subsystems. And all of these should work together. Now, let me give you another example of a system. Let's look at the circulatory system. Now, I'm not a medical doctor, but most of us are at least vaguely familiar with the circulatory system. So let's use it as an example. What is the system's purpose? Well, the purpose of the circulatory system is quite simply to bring food and oxygen to your body. Some of the components of the system are the heart, the veins, the arteries, the capillaries. Now, what are the suprasystems and subsystems here? The suprasystem of the circulatory system would be the human body, because that's the environment in which it lives, and it's affected by the rest of the human body. One of the subsystems within the circulatory system would be the heart. It's a subsystem because it has multiple parts that work together for a specific purpose, but it's also a necessary component of the circulatory system. Now, how would a change in one component affect the overall system? Well, the heart is one of the components of the circulatory system, and if it stops beating, how's that going to affect my circulatory system? Well, the circulatory system probably would not work very well. And likewise, if we were to have an injury and cut one of our arteries, the circulatory system is going to be compromised. So all of these pieces have to work together for a specific purpose. And if something happens within one piece or one component of that system, it affects the whole system. In instructional technology, we work within, work with, and create systems. We work within organizational systems to create instructional systems using things like media systems and delivery systems. We work to develop systems to improve systems. Now, this means that we work within an organizational system, such as a business or a classroom or a military unit, or etc. And we create things like instructional systems, such as training, to improve that organizational system. So we use systems theory to guide the decisions that we make to create sound instruction and training to improve the performance of those in an organization. So we have to be aware of the impact that our changes to the system may make. If we make a change in the organizational system, how will that change influence other parts of the system? If we add new training, will new hardware or new software be needed? Will performance improve? Will the network support the training? Will trainees or students be happy? So as we select, design, develop, and implement instruction, we need to be aware of the impact of our processes on the organization. And we use monitoring and feedback to help us do that. We also have to be aware of the systems, the supersystems, and subsystems. And that's the end of this presentation. Please move on through the rest of the content for this week, and I'll see you online.